Gently close your eyes and relax. I want you to think about the happy memories in your life, the good times that you've had, the support and love that you have received. I want you to focus on the laughter, the smiles, the jokes. Although the voiceover successfully helped to encode meaning about the narrative of the film when I first edited the voiceover, as you can see and hear from the first attempt, it was slightly unclear. Therefore, I went back and re-edited the voiceover to ensure that it was much louder and thus easier to hear for audiences. This would therefore improve the quality of my work, given that audiences would be able to decode and understand the narrative of my film, given that they would be able to hear the voiceover which is being played. Now gently close your eyes and relax. I want you to focus on the happy memories within your life, the good times that you've had, the support and love that you have received. I want you to focus on the laughter, the smiles, the jokes. I want you to focus on how everything was fine and how you feel now. As you can hear, the final line, "and how you feel now," is slightly rushed, given that it is trying to fit in with the timings, therefore meaning that you can't quite hear the end of the line before the intense, diegetic dark slam sound is played. Therefore, when looking back at the first attempt of the voiceover that I had done, I knew I needed to re-record this section in order to ensure that the voiceover could be heard, and thus meaning that the meaning and interpretation behind the voiceover could be decoded by my reader and audience. I want you to focus on how everything was fine and how you feel now. As you can see, I was successfully able to re-record the voiceover so that the sound of the voiceover fit better with the shots. This meant that the dark diegetic slam sound effect did not interrupt the voiceover, meaning that the audience could decode and understand what the voiceover was saying and understand what meaning and interpretation it was trying to convey. Bee's condition is getting progressively worse. Although this voiceover successfully encoded that Bee's mental illness was getting worse quickly, I did not like the way in which it was played over 2 shots, meaning that I felt in order to improve the quality of this voiceover, I would need to make the line more concise and therefore mean that it would fit with our shots better. So this is what I did. Bee's condition is getting worse. It is difficult to control. As you can see, I was able to improve the quality of the voiceover by refilming them and thus making them slightly more concise so that they fit better with the timings of the shot. This therefore meant that the voiceover not only encoded information about the narrative of our film and the characters within our film, but they also fitted with the shots, meaning that it helped to ensure that our trailer looked professional and convincing. I'm afraid you might lose her. Looking back at this shot, I thought it would be more effective if I removed the voiceover. By removing the voiceover, I would be creating silence, thus meaning that I would juxtaposition to the diegetic sound of Bee heavily choking on the water which was later to come. Therefore, I removed this voiceover in order to make my trailer more authentic and thus show more contrast between silence and the diegetic sound which was creating a tense and eerie atmosphere. As you can see, this was more effective given that the silence contrasted to the diegetic sound of Bee heavily breathing and choking in the water. This therefore shows how I was able to edit my voiceover in order to make it more effective and thus more conventional to the thriller genre, through creating more contrast between silence and the diegetic sound of her choking on the water. Dependent. this is only the beginning. And this is only the beginning. As you can able to see, I was able to remove some of the voiceover which said trapped and dependent. I felt this voiceover was too squished and did not fit with the shots properly, and therefore in order to create more impact I felt it would be more effective to have one simple voiceover line at the end which says this is only the beginning. This would help to inform the audience of the fact that Bee's mental illness is this is just the start of Bee's mental illness, and therefore she has got a long way to go and a long way ahead of her. Therefore, I was able to remove this part of the voiceover in order to simplify the voiceover, and therefore mean that when I did include a voiceover, it had more of an impact.